Hey folks, Dave Parrish here with Knack Builders. Got another video. Today's topic. This one should be pretty quick. I'm calling it Heads Up How to Break a Field. Or have a field corrupted that you can't, it just doesn't work right. I'm going to give you an example. This doesn't happen all the time, but it's pretty common. I'm going to get into what to do about it. What I'm talking about specifically are these some min-max average count stuff, where you're going to be looking at child records and doing some sort of calculation on them. Here's the deal. If you create the field with the wrong connection to count, then go back and change it to the right one, it doesn't happen all the time, but I regularly have the problem that it never goes and finds the right stuff. It remains the old stuff no matter what you do about it. Let me come back and show you what's going on there and how to resolve it. Thanks. Okay, let's talk about this how to break or corrupt a field. Make myself a little smaller here, get rid of this. This is when I find it happens most often. Again, if you're changing something, and I'm not going to try to duplicate it on this thing, I'll just tell you how it works. So this one now, this thing that we wanted to be selection instance, we want to count how many child records there are. I won't get into the use case, but what we should have had is this. So if I go back and change it to the right one, I'd say at least a third of the time it ends up failing on me. So now you got this thing, and you might have used it, by the way, in a number of other places, populated through your app, maybe in equations, or just on detail or table views, and it's wrong. Well, the first thing you're going to do is say, well, you're going to make another one that's right from the get-go. I'm going to just call it the right one for this purposes. You're going to make sure you're selecting what you want. This is just going to be testing it, by the way, too, at this point. And then you might have to wait a bit or do one of these update things where you update all the records and then it re-indexes them so you get the values populated. But either way, you're going to see that this one's right and this one continues to be wrong. I've waited a few days on this too, and I've seen it just doesn't change. So you got to move on, you got to build your app, and this is getting in the way. Here's what I do, especially if this is the wrong one that's giving you the wrong value is populated throughout the app. Okay, so you're going to put the right one. By the way, put this above the wrong one for what I'm going to do in order of operations thing. It should have first, but here's the idea. We got the wrong one, we got the right one, we got the wrong one populated all throughout the app. We don't want to have to go to all the work to redo it, right? So instead, let's just do this. We're going to go change the type of field it is. We're going to make it a number. Just save it. Now I've noticed, by the way, that sometimes when you're changing that field and you have a lot of records, it says, hey, we can't change that many at once, contact support. The first time I saw that was actually on this thing, but you end up making this a number thing. And now it's just a number, but you're going to do this. You're going to make a condition on it. And you're just going to say, we want this thing that was wrong as a count function that we now just turn into a number, which doesn't have much use to it. But we're going to make its value into a field value. We're going to make it into the right one. Does that make sense? So the wrong one now has a condition on it getting its value from the right one. And throughout the app, that's going to display correctly. You won't have to go change out a whole ton of fields or equations. It's just going to happen naturally. So that's what I got for this. Again, I regularly run into it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and here's what you do when it doesn't. Thanks.